closing up your faces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we wear safety gear.
Safety gear.
Safety gear is very important in biking, and the representation of a safety gear was for those that require safety gear at work, most especially the essential workers. Always wear your safety gear. It's very, very important to have a safety gear. We always ride on a staggered formation, which to us was representing social distancing, because we don't ride next to each other. We give each other distance then.
Yes. So bikers, you already have social distance.
Correct, and we've been practicing that for long.
Social distancing. I wonder what else.
With safety, with helmets, with gloves, we've already been doing
everything. Basically, biking has always been a safety zone.
Yes, true.
Wow.
So if us as bikers can do it, South Africa, let us be safe.
That's very interesting. And Madam, you were saying something in your solo rides. Have you partnered with them in some of the stuff that they're doing?
Very true. In everything that we do it together. We communicate what is it that's needed for the people that we are going to. Like the one that we are busy with now. Our next project that is on this, what's Saturday?
Yeah, the 31st of October.
31st of October. We will be riding to Mbombela. There is a cancer home that has been identified that we will be visiting. Right. So, and there are a few things on the list that they have asked that we can kindly bring for them that will make a difference in all the cancer patients' lives.
I hear this cancer trip or the cancer ride is quite personal to you. And when you do it, it's not just about riding for a cancer run. There is something much more meaningful to you. What draws you to the cancer runs in particular?
Right. Myself, I have been affected by this deadly disease, cancer. I've lost my mother from a cancerous tumor of the brain. So I lost her very, very young. So doing this is out of the heart. I'm passionate about it. Even those that have been affected or those that are going through these challenges of cancer, we are trying to uplift them, care for them, support them. Support is very, very important with people living with cancer. He has also a personal or touchy story that pushes him to organize all this.
What draws you to the cancer space? Now here we are, supposed to be violent guys, and now here we're talking about cancer, talking about softer issues of life. I can't believe it. I thought I'd be hearing vroom pa, vroom pa, that kind of thing.
As we're driving that, we ride for a purpose. We want to be different. Personally, my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. That's almost 7 to 8 years ago. And the very same year, my sister was diagnosed with bone marrow cancer. Well, that was a tough year. I tell you, it was difficult. That was a difficult journey for those years, but today they are declared cancer survivors. Because we experienced such difficulties through that period. That is why we then embark into this campaign. Because we know it and we've experienced it and we've been there, it affected the entire family. True. I've learned that at that moment, even money could not answer some of the questions. But the support, emotionally being there, was far more important than anything else. You get to a point where you are sick in your bed, money can't buy your life. It's just you and your God at that time. You're asking when is he going to press pause. But if it is not your time, it's not your time. So that is for more personal for us. So my sister is a biker too. She's going to be coming on the 31st. She's going to be giving a main speech when we arrive at Mbombela. She goes around and speak about this thing, and it really affected her a lot, but she survived. So it's more personal to us.
I would like to understand, yes, I hear you, the quality and the type of functions that you're doing, visiting cancer homes and etc. I want to hear maybe a bouquet of issues that you do. Maybe you do campaigns, maybe you do support, maybe you do medical fundraising if someone's in trouble, or maybe you do free screening for the men during rallies and etc. Or maybe you buy, equipments and etc. to support those that are already there. I was trying to find out the frame of the kind of support that you are giving, because we are aware bikers are not as poor as we think they are. These are CEOs. these are directors, these are doctors, these are professional people. So surely in the group that we find ourselves in our clubs, we could begin actually to do much more like practical, literal practical, much more on the prevention, on the maintenance, and on supporting those that have been infected.
Yeah, I agree with you. Even as we're professionals, she's a therapist. So I'm an engineer, but looking at that to say, okay, fine, just because I'm embarking doesn't mean I'm throwing my profession. In fact, I'm going in there with my profession. She will probably explain a little bit more in terms of her profession. What are some of the things that through campaigning that can do in terms of assisting people. But there's one thing that you said that is very important, and I'm taking into heart, especially for the men. I would like to challenge the men that most of us are very scared to purposefully go into checking for prostate cancer. And maybe we're scared because of the procedure, but I rather go through the procedure rather than being ignorant. Even now with this cancer campaign,
let's start a hashtag.
Yes.
Take it down.
Oh, hashtag pull over.
Yeah, hashtag. I like that one. Hashtag pull over.
Yes.
We're starting this campaign tonight, wherever you are. If you're at home there, hashtag pull over. Pull over is of put down your trousers. We want to assist and support all the men out there who are suffering from prostate cancer, but to show that we support them, we also have to go through the necessary testing. Some of these diseases, when they are diagnosed early, chances of survival are much greater. So we want to start a campaign tonight here entitled hashtag pull over. Hashtag pull over. And hashtag pull over, simply let's do a challenge of us as men, not of course, don't become too obscene, but us as men just pulling out our trousers a little bit, and take a picture there. So start the campaign out there. I'd want to see what this campaign looks like by the time you guys are in Bombela. That's our small support for you there. But hashtag pull over, every man go and get tested for prostate cancer. When you come back after the break, we're going to be hearing lots of stories, backyard stories about Bikerville and what happens there in their jewels and what are some of the dangers. Above all, I want to take the show to the next level. We're going to be discussing serious safety and how as motorists we can also support and help the bikers when they are passing by their two wheels, iron horses. Don't go away. We'll be back after the break.
Make massive moves.
The space race has already started.
Russia had got the first object into space.
The coast is as wild today as it was when Europeans settled the continent.
Enormous beasts with enormous thirst. The teams are primed and ready.
They got the first animal into space, and they've got the first person.
Time to see what the boys can do.
Make massive moves with Starsat. Make massive moves.
How can you say that?
That is what it is.
Your mother eloped with someone else.
I just think this is such a genius idea. I think it's amazing.
I can be happy.
It's inside you. It's inside of all of us.
It's about cooking smart that are nutritious and delicious.
President Trump acknowledging the coronavirus death toll could be significantly higher.
We don't want to do this.
There is nothing you can take.
Surviving roommates scared.
The heavyweights arrive.
Inside finds Petulia, blocked by Jane.
This is the will of God.
Make massive moves with Starside.
Any other time on our South African roads when bikers are involved in accidents, it always has to do with the motorist. It has to do with the truck. It's rare that you find that bikers knocked each other or smashed into each other. So while they're riding on the road, the greatest danger to the bikers' world, which is my world, these are my people, motorists are some of the most dangerous. Umuntu uphethe cellphone ngapha, efuna njiri. Bo, usekushayisa. Of course, you didn't see me. You wouldn't have seen me. But I think ever since I started riding a bike, my sense of mirrors and checking my review mirrors, I've become heightened because I always think could be that another biker is trying to pass by. Can you share with us some of the horrendous things that are happening on the roads with motorists? And maybe towards the conversation, you can also find how can motorists be given an awareness of the dangers that they pose to the bikers.
All right.
Yeah, I think,
it's a fair question, yeah?
Yeah, I think it's fair. It's very fair, and I would like to state this, more especially to the motorists, those that don't ride and those that have an attitude against bikers. Some of them, they will see you coming, right? They decide to go to the left to close you so that you don't pass. With this thing of, no, I woke up early and I've been in a traffic for so long, you can just come and pass. You know, and I don't know why such.
You made your choice. You made a choice for the car. I made my choice for the bike.
Yes, you know. So that's one of the other things. But I think what is more important.
And they deliberately move to block off sometimes.
Yes. If he sees you're he's next to a double cab or he's next to the bus or whatever, he can just move there, and he knows that you're not going to pass. So that's one of the things that I've seen. But I think one thing that you've touched on, motorists in most cases, they drive and do something else while they're driving. A car is big, you can see it, it's very easy. A bike, I'm a little bit more smaller and you cannot really see me. They're on a phone, they're not concentrating, they're playing around with music, they're busy chatting, and when they open their eyes and I'm here, then they say, but I didn't see you. Hey, of course you did not see me. Why? Because you're not paying attention to driving. You are doing something else. You've got 4 wheels to stop, I've got 2. So of course your braking distance is much more smaller than mine. So that is what normally that happens in most cases. You know, they do a U-turn, and a road they just never checked. It's a solid lane.
And you are coming.
It's a solid lane. There's very clear. We all got licenses, right?
Solid line. You don't turn on a solid line. People just, and they will turn.
They don't. They indicate. They just do. So we are saying out there, motorists, we don't want to act as if we are the holiest of them all, but can we share the road? This is the South African road. The road belongs to all of us.
Who live in it? Who live in it?
Yes,
let's make it politically sound. These roads belong to all of us who live in it.
Let's share the road. Let's be safe. But I also would like to urge other bikers that are riding out there. Every time you ride, please make sure that you are 3 or 4 times ahead of the motorist. Because what if that person cannot see you?
Yeah.
You know, we don't want to answer.
Keep a safe following distance. Because in case someone smashes the brakes unexpectedly or something like that,
or change the lane,
or change lane
without indicating.
And something else very important also for bikers, I think, keep your lights on. Like 24/7. You don't switch off those lights, and even it might look offensive sometimes before you overtake, just to give that extra flash, just to make sure that the driver in front of you could, to an extent, be aware that you're coming, because 60 to 70% of the time the car is moving, the driver is not there. Their minds are in their meetings, as you are saying, they're on their phone, they are not there. With 3 mirrors looking at them to show them the back, they can neither look at the mirrors and look in the screen, and boom, an accident happens. And we have lost some few friends. I think you mind sharing some few names that we remember. I remember the praying guys from the Shangani guy. Chikwembu chahina chivuru chituru chiru chiri bompa chituru vari chituru chagaya
no, we lost one of the, he was one of the best, and you know, funny enough, how he prayed, that's how he died basically. because he hit a cow. He even said one of his prayers. Sometimes and that basically
that happens.
So he says sometimes we
hit cows.
We hit cows.
And our heads get cut off.
Oh my!
So it does happen. With us, we in my club, which is TLB, we lost one member. In fact, two of our members. Same story. One guy was overtaking a long queue. He was drunk. This guy.
Our guy.
No, the motorist.
The motorist, yes.
He had seen some devil's waters.
He bumped 3 bikers in a row.
Hit fellow bikers?
Yes, in a row, fighting them. So he probably thought, okay, going to the left, I will hit other cars. These things are bikes, they look smaller. So to him, he just continued going straight. He hit 3. Out of the 3, 2 survived and 1 passed on.
And he passed on with the other.
And then he went on. The last person was way too late. It was in a ditch. As they come out of the ditch, the bikers were right in front of him. During the day, driving normally, not riding fast, he was quicker because he wanted to finish the lane because he had to, so he can go back to the left. We're still going to the court case even now, and this process takes too long. But he's okay, his car was damaged, probably the car is fixed by now, but we lost a member.
We lost a member.
Yes.
Wow.
It's very, very painful.
Must be painful. Must be painful. Sometimes when you're riding past these places where you see all these sticks that are sitting on the sides of the road, and some of them actually belong to bikers, and we always want to lift up our heads and say, let's share the road, let's be kind one to another. And I think the message that is also coming up very strongly is once you have touched the devil's waters, stay away from the bike. Stay away from it. It won't go away. It won't go away. But sometimes you feel like blood wants to boil. And that's when you need to drink lots of water. Uber yourself home and make a plan. If you know you're going for some booze, it's always advisable to drink in your, and you guys for your jolts also. I need to make a comment because I happen to be one of you guys. When you go for these day jolts, when you get there about 10, 11, what are people start playing? 1, 2, 3 people are busy popping in. Couple 4 people want to rush back home. And they've had 3, 4, 5, 6 each. We must put a rule that when people come for day jolts, they must not sleep over. We
should even
to protect ourselves.
Try protect them too.
Because there's hardly you hear those things have gone out. You must just wait for 2-3 days and hear what has happened. What has happened. And we can almost be honest, like show bicycles. Some of our guys, actually, they are driving under another spirit.
Now, you're right. I think I also want to caution the bikers. As much as we can try to put the blame on the motorist or point a finger, at the end of the day, you are responsible for your own safety and for how you ride. Bikers have got this tendency of getting in a group and they start drinking, and now it's time to go. With your alcohol, the reaction is quite low, the adrenaline. The bike is fast. That thing is quick.
Naturally.
The split-second decision that needs to be made. Now, that 2 seconds, 3 seconds that you would have had when you were
life and
disappears. Only need that. Do I overtake? Do I throttle? Do I brake? Do I change down? That split-second decision, it can be a bit too late for you if you're doing that. So bikers out there, let us be safe. We cannot be practicing safe and also expecting motorists to practice safety while we're not. I think we need to lead by example.
Yes.
And so myself, I deliberately chose to go for I must put this correctly so that I don't offend other bikers. I prefer to a nice layback cruiser. I would like to manage my adrenaline. I ride for a purpose. I'm not riding for speed. So I decide, we plan with her, and I don't just jump into a bike. There's a rule that I have in the house. Quickly go buy some bread. No, I don't do that. I decide the day before.
Whether you're riding,
I sleep with it. I know exactly what I'm gonna ride. Where am I going? Why am I going there?
And you put
why am I using the bike?
You cycle.
Yes. And
it's very religion to you. It is a ceremony. It is.
This story. Hey, where are you? I'm around here.
I don't
do that. I don't do that. There's a lot of accidents that I've had. The guy was just making a run. He was just taking a corner.
And those are the...
And again, just to add to what you are saying, bikers, can we please wear proper gear? This thing of saying it's too hot. It's never too hot on the bike for you to wear your your full gear. That is for your own protection, right? So, like the guy who we rode with for the COVID-19, remember he had an accident, but because he was in shorts and just small sneakers, he got really badly hurt when he had his accident. So we should not be overlooking, right?
Put on those
yes,
leather
let's wear proper gear for our biking.
Because I think it's as important as your life.
Very true.
It's as important as your life, and for a biker to risk, I think it's quite a bad risk, because it always happens when you. Who plans for an accident?
Nobody.
But when it happens, and some of these caps also we know, some of these nice little German helmets with a small little string, those are not proper helmets.
Yes.
Please get yourself full crabber, except when you have arrived in the stadium.
Yes.
You can show off some bit of that, but you cannot go on the freeway with a small little cap. And so safety is coming up. Quite strongly. When you come back out of the break, let's begin to look into some of the calendar stories that are happening in Bikerville, and how can people be joining also, and finding an extension of life in here in the world of the wind. We'll be back after the break.
Tech Talk brought to you by Tiyani Technologies and Systems. Tiyani Technologies and Systems takes leadership in fourth industrial revolution. The whole world is facing a transformation. The revolution will be developed into the following stages: digitization, cyber security, Internet of Things, managed services, document management, and business applications. We provide business transformation and ICT solutions with presence in 13 African countries and 2 European countries. We are your leading partner in integrated platform providers, innovation leaders, standalone products, and innovation pace setters. Tiyani Technologies and Systems, delivering value across continents.
And here I am today, the most fortunate man in the whole of Johannesburg, having visitors, good friends. Something I love about bikers, we stop for each other. Stop for each other. The community of love and affection. Share with me, how did you develop a community to be able to love each other despite, I've seen black and white, Indian and what. You could be in a hurry, but you could not see 4 or 5 bikes pass another biker on the road, and it's okay.
Yeah. What you're saying is so true. To give you an example, last year on my way to Kuruman, Desperado, my bike had a bit of an issue, so they borrowed me another bike. So when I was riding that bike, I was riding as if I'm riding my bike. I ran out of fuel, 10 k's away from the filling station. I'm sure more than 50 bikers stopped.
50.
Every biker that goes there, are you okay?
Yes.
Why are you okay? And then Gasano will be back now. They went to get some 2 liters, 5 liters. Guess what? The fuel they brought was I couldn't even fit more. They even brought more fuel than
you had a full tank now.
It's the love that bikers feel. Even me when I'm driving, every time I see a bike that is stopping, even if the guy is just resting, something just kicks in me. What if he's not well?
Yes.
What if the bike could fall to you? So I stop and I reverse or ask, are you okay? He says no. It happens automatically.
It's a community. I've been there. I've been there and I've seen it. I was also riding to Schwartz Rennickman, further down. What do you call this place?
Mafikeng.
Not Mahikeng, the northwest. Yeah. And I got stuck, Junk Camp. And I got stuck just outside Klerksdorp. Just on the last traffic light there, Joburg. What now? You know, my chain had fallen off. This guy was driving his car, but he's a biker in Klerksdorp. He stopped. He came, helped me fix the thing, pulled me, left me at the garage, helped me fix, even bought me a drink, and then left. I mean, it was almost like 3-4 hours later. And he was just there. He says, you won't go until he's sure that I'm safe. You are not in Township. This is my town.
Yeah. And I can tell you, chances you don't know each other.
We don't know each other, but I took his number. We are still talking about. I mean, you would not find that kind of humanity in many spaces because of violence also and crime. Some people have shrunk their hands, but I think amongst the bikers they still trust that if he's on a bike. And I stop as a biker, he can't thug me.
Correct. No, the love is there, and it's quite, we really appreciate it. And I think bikers is something that is within us to do, stop. I mean, the trailers, bikers will really go too far to help you. They will organize. There's a time when we were going to Sunriders, we had the Sunriders event in, I think, almost 4 years back.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a guy that was stuck somewhere around after Middelburg. They even have to arrange accommodation for him. He had to sleep there. They say it's too late for now. He can't go now. He does not know those people, but they're bikers. In the morning, they arrange the bike to be fixed. He got to the event late, but safe. With strangers that don't know, but because they are bikers. And that is why I always want to encourage people also. If you can, and if possible, when you ride, depending on which club you ride for, whatever, but always make sure that you wear gear that is easily identifiable. That if your bike is fallen, maybe we can't see it, but if I see you, I can see, but this is a biker.
I can see the colors also quickly.
Yeah, but then if you are wearing all your things, then I can't see. I can just pass. I thought it's someone in the street.
That's where the solo riders become a big risk.
Because we don't know.
Except mine, of course.
It's Bishop MJ. So a biker fell just when I was driving out of the house. I just saw him as I was admiring the bike and enjoying the sound that it made. He slipped and he fell. The first thing I did, I called him, right? 2 weeks back, I called him, and the first thing he said, check for his colors. Then we know who do we call. It was a big white guy, and he appreciated the love, I stopped, I checked, I was picking up all the things that had fallen off. But, people will just pass. But as a biker, it's your role. It's your responsibility to take care of a fellow biker.
Wow, what a family, what a family. You make it sound, so where is the capital city of Bikerville? And we want to become citizens of this beautiful country where people love each other, stop for each other, care for each other, pay accommodation for each other, and just show such a great appreciation of life. I think we have spoken a bit of the dangers of drug abuse in that space, and also riding in the rain. It's not always advisable, because remember, water can be tricky also.
True.
But I want to say something about that. I really want to encourage bikers or riders out there. Fellow bikers, don't buy a bike and put it in the garage. If you do that, you start riding less. There will be a day you will ride on the rain. And it's the first time you do that. Let me tell you, that will be the longest ride ever.
Young Rustenburg to Pretoria. And I was dressed up in my nice, sexy little thing and my half helmet. But it was the proper helmet, but the half one. Man, I never knew that drops of water are that painful on your face. That was the longest 100 kilometers I have ridden in my life.
True. But next time that happens to you, you ride differently. Because you have experienced it, So, but bikers some of them, they like this doing around the corner. I do long distance rides. We went with the Harley Davidson group with some of my friends. We went to Drankesberg. But the first time I ride on snow, on ice. My helmet was full of snow. To get it out, I had to hit the helmet so that it can crack and fall. My visor was full of snow. If I've never died that day because of cold, I would never drive. I couldn't feel my fingers. I had throat bites for 4 or 5 days. Like my nails were
toes. Yes. And another one, I had a shocker. We were riding into Kokstad, and on our way back, when another rider had fallen there. On our way back, there was a wind. And it was coming from those fields. Man, until I got to Joburg, it's like we're riding at an angle like this.
But that's amazing about being a rider. You get to experience all 4 seasons in maybe in a day, you know. Remember we got rained on. When we got to some place, people were surprised how
you are wet.
You guys are wet, you know. where were you? You know, but it's a beautiful experience. You get wet, you get dry. You get very hot. It becomes very, very windy. But
Lesotho almost killed me. Lesotho almost killed me. I went in the night to Lesotho.
The caves.
I left late. Then I got stuck in Bethlehem. The temperatures dropped, I think, to about 2 or 3. You know, the Bethlehem direction.
Bethlehem is always cold.
Mabuti, I have never suffered like that. It was one hand on the tank, and you make it cruise a little bit, another hand on the engine, make it cruise a little bit. I think when I got to Lesotho, it was like I'm a reed kind of thing. I defrost myself. But as you rightfully put it, if you have a bike, get as much experience as possible. And it's always safer to ride with company. It's always safer to protect each other.
You learn a lot.
But again, to ride almost like stop putting your bike in the garage, ride it more often, and then you get to, you know, experience all these difficulties from the caves. Remember, Hubasloof was a bit difficult for
some of the riders.
For a lot of riders, and we had to actually. I took two bikes on the trailer because they were really battling. But if you tend to ride more, get to experience different roads, the potholes that we are facing on the road. Your riding skill becomes much better.
Much safer.
In my world of behavior modification, I always learn even from the most inanimate things. So while you're talking about your biking here, I'm hearing lots of life lessons that are coming into my headspace. Maybe from those that are married to those that are single to those that are bachelors and spinsters who just say it as it is coming. Firstly, is that maybe get a bike that you can ride. You know? Get a bike that you can ride. Don't buy something because other people are saying you must have it. Buy something that will agree with what you are. You can hear that in terms of life. And while you're on your bike, just always make sure that you are safe. Be sexually safe, be mentally safe, be spiritually safe. Safety is key.
And you take care of the bike. The bike will take care of it.
Number 3, service your bike. And make sure it's always healthy. Can we make bikes relationships? That we also must constantly be in the business of checking some oils there, checking the tires, if they still have the grip. You know what I'm talking about? You may think that your bike might be good, but your brakes may fail because the tire is not good. So check your services and make sure that your relationship is in a good working condition. That makes nice.
And please ride your bike.
Ride your bike. I like that
that's
one.
Very important.
He has just joined me. Please ride your bike. Don't ride another business bike.
No, ride your bike.
Ride your bike.
Yes.
I like that. I hope you can hear it at home there. Ride your bike. And don't keep it in the garage for too long. You know, and experience. Bikes and their riders, they always experience different seasons. You know, the rain seasons, the windy seasons, the muddy seasons. When it gets too difficult, sometimes stop under the shade and get let it rain. When the rain is cooled down, go on again in terms of your journey.
If you leave it too much in the garage, it gets rusted. You don't want that in the bike. So I want to repeat this, ride your own bike.
Ride your own bike. No rust. No rust.
You can't afford it.
Yes, and of course, sometimes you must be clear. Avoid riding in the dark, especially too fast. You're riding in the dark. Don't make hasty decisions when you can't see where you are and you're in the midst of anger, you're clouded, and then you want to press that thing at 260 kilometers per hour. Maybe we learn from the biking world, you know, ride when it is nice and clear.
And your mind is very sound and you are not riding with anger or any other evil emotions.
Don't take out your anger on your bike. Yeah.
It won't end well.
Don't take out your anger on your bike. We are saying it in two levels. Yes. And because you might end up emptying your anger and you end up over pressing, and you might end up in other complicated situations. Yes. And stop and rest.
Yes.
I like that one. Stop and rest.
Pause. And continue.
1 hour later, you feel your arms are getting that cheeky, crampy thing. Pull over. And even in the relationships also. I think it's important.
We had an experience with her. We were doing a 2,800 kilometer ride. I could see she's sleeping on my back. So I would shake her back a little bit. I could see she's hitting the helmet. We had to stop and make an unplanned stop. Because at that moment it was not safe. Especially when it's longer.
Then
you get too
energy just starts slowing down, and you stop hearing the engine.
Yes.
It will just be in your mind. Goes where it can go. I've experienced that.
Yes.
I did Kuruman, and I did Swaziland, also the Swazi Rally, and a couple of others. One in Mamelodi, the other one way. I'm also. So it's a fresh jacket.
So Rwanda, Burundi.
Yes, some countries I've traveled. But at the end of the day, the glory of riding, I think, has to be found in the progressive growth. You walk first, then you get on a bicycle.
Yes.
Then I think that it must be compulsory that from a bicycle, you must go on a bike.
Yes.
Then from a bike into the car. Those that jumped that stage there will get problems in the next lot. I think so.
I would like to agree with that.
Or maybe that's the reason why they don't get why other people bike. It's because they jumped into motor vehicles before getting into the two-wheels.
Some went straight from walking into a car. They never even had a bicycle or a bike, so they don't understand us.
Motion and everything else. They've never learned how to balance and etc.
When we get robots, we ask them to wait, let us pass. They just don't understand. But I got here first. It's not about that. We're asking you to stop for less than a minute. It's not going to harm you to stop for less than a minute. Whereas others, they admire, they like biking, and they wish they can join. And, and I would like to encourage everybody, even for the campaign ride that we're doing on the 31st of October, it's not only about bikers only. If you have a car and you can join us, please come. You ride at the back with the pack there. There's already a couple of cars that are already coming there, that are coming to join us. There are many people who love bike of it. They even have all of gear, but they don't have the bikes. It's the love that is there that is drawing them to there. So I think let's continue to do things together.
So on the 31st of October.
31st of October.
There is a ride from Johannesburg.
It starts from Polokwane, 6 o'clock in the morning.
6 a.m.
It's going the Polokwane riders and most of the Lepompo guys will meet us in Pretoria. In Hatfield. Next to McDonald's.
Yes.
10 o'clock we depart, we take N4. We are hitting straight to Mbombela. We will arrive in Mbombela at Mbombela Stadium.
So those the Gauteng people, they must meet you where?
In Pretoria at Hatfield.
Pretoria, Hatfield, at that McDonald's next to Holiday Inn there.
Yes, there's an engine there.
An engine garage.
It's going to be quite a big pack.
So that's what time?
10 o'clock we departed.
10 o'clock in the morning?
Yes, we departed. They must arrive there by 8:30 to 9.
Okay.
10 o'clock we departed.
You do straight into N4?
N4, we're going to stop at Alzu. At Alzu, we're going to find people from Wheatbank, Middleburg, all those baggers who are going to meet us there. Some of the bikers from Nelspruit, they prefer to come to ours to come and receive us.
Then they will receive you.
Take us back. Well, properly planned. Traffic department is waiting for us. They have already issued a statement that they're going to be ushering us into Mbombela. They're going to take us from Mbombela Stadium. They're going to be blocking roads for us. They're going to take us nicely into the cancer home where we're going to present the donations. And we'll give
when you come back after the break, if you don't have a bike, you now have a reason why you must actually get one. And let's throttle the engines on the N4 down to Mpumalanga, Mbombela.
massive moves.
I feel confident. I feel like I can take on the world.
So you're telling a story through your clothes.
Such a professional, you wouldn't even know.
Criticism is one of my biggest motivations.
Darling, you want to be a model? Like, oh my God.
I'm glistening.
The fashion industry needs people with beautiful faces.
I would pay thousands of dollars for that love.
Make massive moves with Starside. Make massive moves.
You're the best fighter in China.
Give me the Emperor's sword, and I'll spare your life.
Shisha sector's gone too far.
Make massive moves with Starside.
We have tonight with us great riders from the Pretoria area here in Gauteng, and they're telling us interesting stories about the upcoming ride that is going to a cancer home in Mbombela, and beautiful on the 31st of October, meeting at Hatfield next to McDonald's. The ride is starting from Polokwane right up in the Great North, so it's a convoy from Polokwane to Pretoria, the Johannesburg and the greater hinterland of Gauteng. Meet the riding team at Pretoria at the McDonald's, and the journey will start on the N4, proceeding, and we'll stop. What's the name of the garage? Alzera?
Alzul Petroport.
Alzul Petroport, and then some of the Nelspruit guys are coming up, and then the entourage will move further into Mbombela. Security is safe, police are on standby. It will be a beautiful ride. If your bike is in good condition, come on, clean it up and get ready for the show. What are some of the things we can expect on the day when we get there, over and above the charity that we're going for?
All right, I'll quickly go first. We will be doing a handover to the home that we've identified in Mbombela, and we are urging people to please kindly donate what they are using there. It can be a form of wipes, diapers for old people, hats or wigs, you know, ladies.
Safety.
Wigs, hair wigs. You know, with cancer, people lose their hair. So it will be nice for us to give them something. You see, even now, I'm wearing a wig. So all the wigs that we're not using, ladies, please, let's give it to them. Let's donate. Let's share the spirit of love and show these people that we truly care and support them.
Wow.
I think maybe to also.
So you see the advantage of having ladies go first.
Yes.
Now the speech has become very warm now. You know?
Yeah, and the cancer home is mostly focused on those that cannot afford medical aid. So obviously, in terms of cost, it's a challenge. So, but those that want to donate money, they can. But what we decided, we are not going to collect any money. The money will be deposited directly into the cancer home to manage things like corruption and money disappearing there. So, but advisably is to buy those items so that we can hand it over there. But there's a beautiful part about this. The following day, we're going to have a nice...
So you're sleeping there, Saturday night, you're sleeping there. Yeah,
following morning,
rest.
It will be happening.
And rest.
Yeah, so Sun Riders are hosting us in the evening. It's the club in Mbombela.
Yes.
Yeah, so they are preparing for us. They are ready to host us there. The following day, we're doing a nice ride. We're going to take Sabi, we're going to take Leidenberg, we're going Hoedspruit, we're going Zanini, Polokwane, and then we take M4 back home. It will be very beautiful. A nice big pack. That will be beautiful.
You make me feel like I should just take my bike and
get on the groove.
I will see what I can do. I'll see what I can do. The guys in the studio are saying, your program is on a Sunday, you can't go. You know, but if a biker wants to go, a biker wants to go. No, it's beautiful. And by the way, we appreciate the time that you spent to bring us some of this information in terms of awareness. For me, it's very important. And over and above, also the knowledge that you bring with you in terms of even encouraging the community to go riding sometimes, reduce congestion. It's a plus to have more bikers over and above the fun that it brings into the community. I like your concept of riding for a purpose, having a reason, coming together, decide what you want to do, then fundraise along that and change the lives of people. And while you're there, they're going to put all the information for your function, and your contact numbers will be flighted on. Those who want to start riding with you, they can please check the numbers at the bottom of the screen there, as we are sharing their details with you, so that you can register early and get yourself ready for that biking trip to Mbombela. If I have it in my way, I'll run away from studio on Sunday and or rather I must get him the OB and do a ride. We'll do a ride together with my cameraman here, and they'll be falling off behind me. Anything else do you want to share with the community out there before we close up?
Yeah, maybe maybe let me start with the lady. You always say starting with the lady is a good thing. Anything that you want to share?
In closure, guys, let's come together, make this an amazing experience, go show the world that we care about these people, and it must not be the end of the movement. It is the start of greater things that we are headed for. Yeah.
I think for me, in conclusion, ride your bike. Don't put your bike on a garage. Ride your own bike, continually so, and ride it very safely. If you take care of your bike, it will take care of you. Ride for a purpose. That's the most important thing for us. I think one thing that I probably would like to ask, it either could be now or any other time, in your time, can you please pray for us? Pray for the ride, pray for the safety. I think is our most important thing for us. We want this to go well and smooth. I always believe that whatever I take to God first, then I know that it's well prepared for me, that I can walk that path knowing that He is fully prepared for me.
Let's pray for the bikers. For grace, for mercy, for love, for safety, when they travel on the roads that have costed many lives. May their lives be safe. May you keep them vigilant and alert, that they will go for their function and come back in grace. Let the spirit of kindness and goodness override them, protecting them on their going and their coming. Let there be satisfaction and joy from their hearts until we meet again. May the grace of the universe be sufficient for us all. Amen. Ra.
Amen.
Amen.
Your host tonight, Maponga Jeji Garambogo Garamashamba Uda Shira Navana Vanchiti Subo Hiro Vana Muchena Makumba Mwana Musendiwe Shano Wanachigarama Matanda no Rachamba Kusesala Mponango Kuba Wanimashakumagara. Tishira Navana Vanchi. Until we meet you again here on another show, on your Sankofa show, live from Johannesburg Universal Galaxy Networks. My name is Maponga J. Don't do what I wouldn't do. If you decide to do it better.